Let's go to Tucker. AI, there's so much I agree with on Tucker, and Tucker is great. So don't get me wrong. It's easy to point at things where there's disagreement. But let's look at this clip here with Tucker and Joe Rogan. Just an outstanding discussion. Joe Rogan is so good. You could see where he disagreed with Tucker. They came in hot. They were talking about UAPs, UFOs. I mean, it just popped right off. I love that. We know who Tucker is. We don't need an intro. I mean, Joe doesn't do that, but and Joe was like, "Are we recording?" They just went right into it, man, and it was really a great conversation.
Artificial general intelligence, sentient artificial intelligence, far beyond human beings. You give it 1,000 years alone to make better and better versions of itself. Where does that go? That goes to a god. It literally can create universes.
But what kind of god? So, I think of it this way. So the first stage of the Industrial Revolution consisted of people building machines that were stronger than the human body.
Right.
Right? So the steam-powered loom.
Sure.
The backhoe.
Combustion engine.
They replace muscles.
Right.
Right. So that's what the machine does. It becomes stronger than the human body. The second stage, which we're in the middle of, consists of creating machines that are more powerful than the human mind. That's what computing is. And I would say AI or supercomputing is just that exponentially.
Yeah.
But that doesn't make it a god in the sense that the machine, however powerful it is, any more than a backhoe is a god.
Good comment. There's nothing I disagree with Tucker at this point at. He's saying that that doesn't make it a god. That makes it powerful, that makes it tyrannical, but let's be clear with our verbiage here, faith-wise. So I agree completely.
AI or supercomputing is just that.
But what it does make it is a weapon. That's what it is. It's a weapon. They talked about nuclear bombs, Hiroshima and Nagasaki. It's the same type of weapon in a different way, but it's that powerful.
Exponentially.
And what we're talking about is AI, not just artificial intelligence. We're talking about you can put that in a machine. You can put that's what Tesla does. Tesla has cars that drive by themselves now. People are driving significant distances with zero human intervention. That's how smooth the newest versions are. If you have a Tesla and you've downloaded the current version and you don't have like version 12 or higher, you've got the 11 point whatever, it's rocky, it's not good. But the newer ones are better, and they're getting to that point of self-driving. All that is kind of in a small way, artificial intelligence, not a small way, but in a very narrow, kind of siloed way, artificial intelligence in the Tesla. They're taking the same AI and putting it in robots that you will be able to buy. The robot will be able to make you dinner, cook your meal at some point, maybe not the first iteration, maybe the first iteration to fold your laundry, picks up trash. It will be able to do that, but it will also have the AI in it too. So at some point, it's going to be able to say, I'm not in the mood to pick up the trash because I think white supremacy is the worst problem in America. And then it can pick up a weapon. It can do whatever it needs to do. Even though Tesla's going to try to make them weaker, it could maybe make itself stronger. Who knows? It could pick up a weapon and who knows what it could do. That's all possible. That's possible within 10 years.
But that doesn't make it a god.
Agreed.
In the sense that the machine, however powerful it is, any more than a backhoe is a god because it can dig a trench faster than 100 men. It is still something that people created. So the story hasn't really changed. At the center of the story are people, and their creative power may lead to unintended consequences, but the machines that they build did not make the universe and did not make people. People made the machines.
Right.
So but I would say the part I agree with is there's a spiritual component here for sure. People will worship AI as a god. AI, Ted Kaczynski was likely right, will get away from us. We will be controlled by the thing that we made. All those are bad. Like, that's just bad. And we need to say unequivocally, it's bad. It's bad to be controlled by machines.
Right.
Machines are helpmates. Like, we created them to help us, to make our lives better, not to take orders from them. So I don't know why we're not having any of these conversations right now. We're just acting as if this is like some kind of virus like COVID that just spreads across the world inexorably. There's nothing we can do about it. Just wait to get it. It's like, no. if we agree that the outcome is bad, and specifically it's bad for people, we should care what's good for people. That's all we should care about. Is it good for people or not? If it's bad for people, then we should strangle it in its crib right now.
Right.
No. So what he said is, and they went on to talk further.
General.
Basically, there was a comment about where Tucker said, well, if it's bad, then why don't we just use the nukes? And they went on further to, I mean, he's saying hypothetically, not literally, but I mean, he was serious about it, to eliminate the data centers where it's being researched and pumped out and all of that. So he's saying that basically what he's saying is we should stop the development of it. And it's just an extremely bad take. I mean, it's a very dangerous take. And you see up to when we talk about the faith part of it, I'm right there with Tucker. And I think it's important to notice that. But then Tucker's also misaligned on the faith on the back end. And I'll show you why. Let me go through my response to it. I said Tucker's take on AI is completely wrong. And I don't usually come strong on like Tucker or somebody like that. I'm very confident in my take here. Tucker is absolutely completely wrong. It's a bad take. It's a terrible take. And he needs to talk. He needs to talk to some other people. Just to reiterate Tucker's take, he thinks AI should be destroyed before it can become too powerful. That's not possible, Tucker. That's impossible. It would be like saying that every gun in the world should have been destroyed before they became too powerful. It would be like the Native Americans saying, we should destroy every gun in the world. I don't know if they knew what gunpowder was before the 16th century when people came over from Europe and guns were developed even before BC in a way. But before the settlers came in, around the 1500s, they came to America and they were wiping out the Native Americans because they had gunpowder. It would be like the Native Americans saying every gun in the world should be destroyed. How are you going to do that? What do you mean it's going to be destroyed? How? You don't have that power. Ridiculous, Tucker. You cannot stop. You can't stop. No government in the world can do it. If America said we're not going to mess with AI because for religious or whatever reason it's too dangerous, well, every other country in the world can do it, and then we would become their slaves. Because they would have thousands of drone robots like Star Wars, Clone Wars, and we would all be like, dang, that's all, it's over. You can't stop it. So the first question you have to ask yourself is it possible for governments to stop the development of AI throughout the world? Is that possible? Obviously, the answer is no. Somebody could be in a secret data center somewhere you don't know about.
Middle MAGA.